Hey guys, Fighting Crypto here. Well, you probably knew that. If you didn't, welcome to the channel. You're probably new. Hopefully by the end of this, you find it worth your while to subscribe and press the like button. I'd appreciate it, but let's just jump right into it, shall we? So today I want to talk about Aerodrome Finance, or AERO. So I promised you guys meaning the people that respond to me and everything in posts and comments, that you guys said you wanted more reviews about crypto that I'm familiar with, and then honestly gave me a bunch that I'm not familiar with. Those will come out slower, but I'm going to start doing more reviews and price predictions for all of you guys because you guys said you wanted it. And honestly, I'm researching these anyway, so I might as well share a little bit more with you guys. So, Aerodrome Finance is one that I do own, and I'll try to make that very clear with you guys when I talk about crypto, just in case you think there's some sort of conflict of interest or whatever. I'll be as transparent as I can be with you guys. And if you don't feel I am, comment in the down below. Ask me. Think I'm an open book with anything. We'll find out if I'm not, but let's kind of get into it today and just talk about Aerodrome Finance. So first and foremost, I don't know if you guys know what Aerodrome is, so let's give a really quick rundown through it, shall we? AERO is the token for Aerodrome Finance, which is the DEX, the decentralized exchange of base systems. So think of Coinbase, because they're relatively synonymous. I will use them interchangeably, very likely. Base is a layer 2 on Ethereum. And so Aerodrome is what does the buying, selling, trading, leverage, staking, farming, liquidity pools, all that. It's the main one for the base ecosystem. So the more people that buy crypto in general, but specifically that use Coinbase or anything directly on base Aerodrome Finance, will help increase the price of Aerodrome. So there's certain crypto or certain narratives that are a little bit easier to try to predict when they will or won't be busy. And DEXs are a big one because unless some major news comes out that could really pump like any crypto, they're going to go up when there's more people just buying in general. So I think DEXs are great to have a nice little bag ready for when a bull run ultimately hits, so that way you're not chasing it, so to speak, or you got a nice little happy bag. So other than run the DEX, I mean, it does help with, again, staking. You can use AERO for governance if you're into that, to be able to help vote and persuade the company of which direction they're going to go. But it does have a major utility just for being the DEX token. So I'm expecting AERO to do pretty well. There will be a price prediction at the end of this video for sure, which if you've watched some of my videos before, I've talked about, the price prediction hasn't changed. So it will be the same. So possible spoiler if you've been around a little bit. So just real quick to recap, we'll pull up charts in a little while, but in 2024, base, the entire ecosystem reached over 1 million daily active users. That daily is a big deal. You won't hear that too often. And I'm expecting when altcoin season hits, that's going to be far more than that, simply because if there is an altcoin season, which I fully believe there will be, you're going to need more people than what did the small Trump pump, I'll call it, previously. So we know people are running on base. They're using it routinely. I use it right now. I'm doing a little bit of Aerodrome farming. It's been a nice little, it's a practice run for the bear market, to be completely honest, but it is putting my AERO to work. So it's a little bit, well, making more AERO by sitting and waiting for it to be worth more for me to go ahead and sell. So farming or liquidity pools is something that I'm looking heavily into, and I love that Aerodrome can do that, right? Because I mean, you can either stake your AERO or you can put in liquidity pools where essentially you put Aerodrome with really anything on base, but not financial advice. But if you're new to liquidity pools, stick with something like the dollar, something that doesn't change. I knew someone asked me to get a little bit into staking and farming in a video down the road. I've been doing it more, so I'll probably end up doing that before too long for you guys. But the short with, if you do liquidity pools, usually you want to pair whatever token you're trying to farm or get liquidity in with a stable coin, preferably like USDC, DT, or whatever country, and whatever is the stable coin for that, so you know it always stays the same price. Kind of a big deal. We'll get into that in another video. But you can earn free AERO, which is what I'm doing right now. I'm not really big into the governance component of it, but it's nice that that's an option. I've told this story a few times, so I'll make the very short version of it. But AERO, I bought and sold previously, or early 2024, and then re-got into it I forget when. I have it written down somewhere. But Aerodrome was actually my largest multiplier of the cycle so far. I had about it was around a 12x onto it. I got in really early. Coinbase, all I knew about it was when I hopped on Coinbase, it showed up as an experimental token. Pretty much meaning that they think it's going to do something, but they have even less guarantee than normal, which is really kind of nothing anyway. And all I knew about Airdrome at the time, again, I do think you guys should do your own research and know more about a crypto than this without buying. I got a little lucky. All I knew was an experimental token. It just launched, so it was cheap. It was financially supported and used by Coinbase, and that was enough, right? That shouldn't have been enough for me to buy it, though it worked out very well for me. That what would be enough in any other circumstance for me to look a lot deeper into a crypto. Because again, depending on who backs something makes a huge difference, right? Ondo, the thing that got that really big in the first place was we heard that BlackRock ran it or was helping fund behind it. HBAR had a little fake pump last year from I think it was 11 cents to 18 cents in a matter of like 90 minutes because there was a rumor that BlackRock came in. It was actually a subsidy of BlackRock using their finances, which was still super bullish, but people didn't understand it and they resold. But regardless, who you have supporting you makes a big ass difference in crypto. And frankly, Airdrome's got some of the best support. You can't ask for too much more than Coinbase. And Base has been rapidly growing as an ecosystem, right? It's gaining users consistently. Again, having 1 million daily active users for a system that's pretty new, that was actually really big to me, to be completely frank and honest. And Coinbase has been pushing more and more institutional support, like Coinbase now does liquidity pools. It's not directly tied with Airdrome, but it appears to assist with it in some way. But Coinbase and Base ecosystem has been trying to get more corporations in. What does that mean? A shit ton more TVL. And when you have large corporations come in, or just whales in general, they're the ones that are more likely to put into staking and these more governance and long-term things, specifically in high amounts of numbers. And they're starting to come in a little bit. I think we're going to see a lot more over time. I mean, we should. I'm totally expecting it. And like, it's a DEX, right? So there's not too much for me to update on. So when I've had a few people ask me, "Oh, is there any new updates about AERO?" The decentralized exchange, there's not going to be too many major updates outside of price action, TVL, and if they got new bridging or new connections in one way or another. And in terms of crypto, it's a very low risk play, right? Not in terms of, oh, it's guaranteed to go 40x, but in terms of going up, incredibly low risk because it's base ecosystems DEX. And the odds of it going down to zero is nearly impossible, right? Not saying it's not going to crash. I think everything's going to crash in the bear market. But if I get stuck with Aerodrome at the end of the day, end of the market, it's not the world's worst thing. I plan on staking and farming that stuff anyway. So it's always good to have conviction into both the coin as a product, the coin facts of if it's going to go up in price, and really making sure it's still going to be around. And it's ran by Coinbase. It's going to be around. I've got no concerns about that. So before I get immediately into the price prediction, already into this a little bit, but let's look at the chart slightly just to give a little bit of idea of really what's been going on with it. So here on the monthly, and honestly, it looks like almost all of the crypto on the monthly. It's actually not too bad. It's recovering pretty well on this valley. I've DCA'd several times in. We're at a 350 million market cap. Again, for a solid layer two, good space for it, a lot of room to grow. I guess I still consider in the micro cap category. It's just not itty bitty teeny tiny. We got about half the circulating supply out. It is inflationary, but again, I like the concept for being able to create, farm, stake, etc. More aerodrome, I'll be using that long term for sure. And if we pull it back to the year, and this is closer to what we're expecting before all too long, being going back up to $2. And I know, I understand. You look over here at it's not even 50 cents. In all reality, that's just like a 4.25x. I think it's going to blast past that, but it is good to see it had a nice little spike here, and it held for a little bit. And then we had the major sell off post inauguration of Trump, but that's what it is. overall, not upset by this chart. We're looking at the all-time, and now this gives a much better picture actually of how Arrow's been doing. Should have started with this one, but see where it came in. It was new, no one knew about it, and then it went up pretty effing quick from the 25th. Boom, yep, blasting up. This looks like a much healthier chart, and I'm expecting to see a third top, I guess, on this one. But if it's as large as it could be, this isn't going to make it look like a triple top. It's going to make it look like one giant one that outdoes the rest of these. We'll find out soon. But by how much, you might think? So I've been told all the time that I've got very bearish price predictions. Okay, fine. They're my price predictions. They're where I'm expecting it to get. And yeah, I'd rather go a little bit more on the realistic side, because when I've looked back at when I was here in the last bull run and the price predictions that everyone gave, I can't think of too many that actually came true. So a little warning on that one. Maybe you guys listened to other people, or they were different coins, but you don't see it hit too often. So where's my price predictions on this one? So we'll call it, I'll give a bearish and a more realistic viewpoint of everything, right? I'm thinking on the bearish side, it's going to be around $6, 5 to 7. Let's call it 6. On the more realistic side, yeah, I think if it blasts past like that 525, 550, I think it's going to get much closer to the $8 mark. So call it 7 to 9. But I'm willing to say closer to 8. Could this thing go up to $10 or $15? Like I've heard a lot of people say. I've heard a lot of 10 and 20 actually. And I think 10, it could happen. I'm not going to hold my breath or hold my bag to see 20. But if anyone wants to argue, debate it, put in the comment section down below. And I mean, I might still have a moon bag at that point. But heck, if I'm wrong and you're holding it to $20, awesome. All the power to you guys, right? Freaking sick. But I'm looking at closer to the $6 mark as what I think it's actually going to hit as an all-time high. And realize when a lot of times we're giving price predictions, we're talking that candle wick top and up down. So not necessarily where there's liquidity to be able to buy or sell it. So what does that actually mean? In a more practical sense, I've been asked this before too, is I will be almost fully sold before it gets to $6. I want to have roughly, I had this all in a chart I shared with you guys before. I'll have roughly 70 to 80% out by the time it hits $3. And that is just because, though I have a price prediction, I want to make sure I make money through this. And you never actually know where it's going to go. I will hold a good 20, 30% to see it ride and go further than that. And we'll see where it goes. But what do you guys think about your price predictions? Do you think I'm way off the mark? Do you think that there's no way Aerodrome's going to even get the $2 again? Do you think I'm completely bearish and I should be saying a lot more than $6 to $8? Seriously, guys, let me know. But I do think Aerodrome is one of the safest bets you can make, simply because it's a decentralized exchange on Coinbase, which is the second largest exchange that there is. You're pretty much guaranteed prices to go up here. Even, God, I say, even if there was not a bull run, there's going to be a bull run. Very confident on that. I would still be confident that AERO is going to be going up just due to M2 money supply and a couple other things in the macroeconomics. So again, if you guys have been here this long, please do subscribe, like the video. It helps me out a lot. And I think the next couple of reviews I'm going to end up doing are crypto that I don't own. So I'm looking at doing Caspa and Beam next. So if this is a week or a pass from this video, when it was first recorded and posted, they're probably already out. If it's less than a week, probably not, but you'll get those notifications if you ring the little ding thing. Hey guys, thank you as always. Fighting Crypto, I'm out.